this time. No sudden sneezing, no sudden intrusions, no explosions. Are we going to have a normal show? I think we just may. Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Wasteland Active Radio, your one-stop shop for news in the lovely Ash Flats. As always, I'm your gracious host, Crispy, coming to you from Dashwood Outpost number 17, Station Hill. We've got a great show for you today, folks. The Radhoppers are practically on our front porch, so the Dashwoods are moving the non-combatants to a shelter. On the bright side, it looks like the laser-toting wanderer is still alive and kicking, but more on that, all in the announcements. Since Atlas is still gone, I'll be handling the weather, while Bucket acts as our field correspondent. Got another printout and everything. Yeah. We've got running water, we'll soon have a general store, and the Dashwoods are looking to start enlisting more into their ranks. More on that in today's local news. Another special advertisement for a caravan, and more ads from our ad binder in today's, you guessed it, advertisements. Finally, we'll head down to Bucket at the wall once again to see how the Radhoppers are moving in today's On the Scene. And in our final segment, I'll figure something out. Maybe drag Sterling in for another interview. No, wait, that's a bad idea. Whatever, I'll figure something out, whatever. With all that out of the way, let's move on to today's announcements. Alright, in today's announcements, the Radhopper swarm that we've been keeping an eye on over the past couple weeks is slated to arrive today. In preparation for it, the Dashwoods have put together a bunch of makeshift flamethrowers made specifically for the Radhoppers. This project was led by Dashwood mercenary and pyrotechnics expert Donnie the Clown, and was completed earlier this week. The Radhoppers themselves aren't all that tough. The fire should chew through them no problem, but with a swarm that large, they could still devour our crops in no time, and they're large enough that they could severely injure anyone in their midst. With that in mind, the Dashwood leader of Station Hill, invader of privacy, anti-cannibal enthusiast, and all-around solid guy, Major Davy Starling, has commandeered the basement of this very radio station to house the non-combatant members of our community until the Radhopper threat has been dealt with. The basement isn't too bad. Looks like it was built to serve as a bomb shelter, and it's held up over the years. On a slightly sour note, we did find one skeleton down there, but it looks like whoever he or she was took the quick way out, judging by the hole in their skull. We believe that means that whoever it was down there had run out of supplies and didn't just want to starve to death or face the wasteland. I can't blame them there, especially since everywhere was a hellscape of nuclear fire for a long time. One final announcement. The laser-toting wanderer has been spotted again, and he, or she, seems to be doing just fine. They were last seen 3 days ago, a little ways west of here, by the merchant caravan that's currently stopped in Station Hill, and they traded for a few supplies, mostly scrap metal and medical supplies for caps and bullets. Dana Dawson, leader of the merchant caravan, described the wanderer as polite and well-spoken, but reserved and quiet, though the wanderer's heavy power armor may have something to do with that. After making their trade, the wanderer started heading west, and that was the last Miss Dawson saw of our laser-toting wanderer. If they're heading west, there's a chance they may run into Atlas and the small group of Dashwoods he took with him. I hope that doesn't end ugly. While I'm on the subject of Atlas, he was supposed to be back earlier this week, but he and the Dashwoods haven't even radioed in. I hope everything went all right and they're just out of range or something. We've got a lot riding on them. I hope they're okay. Well, let's just move on to the weather for the week ahead. Alright, dear listeners. Just like last week, since Atlas is out, I have Bucket out in the field, poised for an interview, and I have a printout of this week's weather right here. So, without further ado, here is this week's weather forecast. Currently, the temperature is 84 degrees Fahrenheit, with a high of 88 degrees and a low of 80 degrees. It's overcast right now and kinda gloomy, but it doesn't look like we'll be getting any rain today. Monday, the temperature will have a high of 83 degrees and a low of 80 degrees. The clouds will break up and it'll be sunny all Monday. That's nice. Tuesday, the temperature will have a high of 82 degrees with a low of 79 degrees. Clear skies expected all day with some light winds. Wednesday, the temperature will have a high of 89 and a low of 82. We'll get some cloud cover in the late afternoon, blown in by some light winds. Thursday, the temperature will have a high of 90 degrees and a low of 88 degrees. The winds will pick up, and we'll get some heavy gusts of up to about 20 miles per hour. Watch out for flying mole rats. Friday, the temperature will have a high of 92 degrees and a low of 87 degrees. Looks like the wind is just going to keep on well, dear listeners, looks like the conditions are right for a tornado. The clouds are going to thicken up and there should be a sudden drop in temperature, maybe to about 75 degrees or lower. So we'll have a tornado watch on Friday starting at 5 p.m. For those of you out of the loop, tornadoes around here tend to carry high amounts of radiation with them, making them scarier than normal. Anyway, Saturday, the temperature will have a high of 76 degrees and a low of 72 degrees. Expect some scattered showers and heavy winds. The tornado watch will still be in effect until noon. And that's all for this week's forecast. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen a tornado in person, and it's something I could definitely continue living without. They're a testament to just how cold and uncaring Mother Nature is. Stay safe, dear listeners. If you see a tornado, get to solid shelter or dig into a ditch. Basically, get as low as you can. Protect your head and neck from flying junk through the air. That said, let's move on to local news. Alright, newsy news. There we are. In today's local news, Station Hill's dedicated plumber, Louis Zucchero, has finished his work on getting us clean running water. And dear listeners, I'm overjoyed to say that we now officially have indoor plumbing. It isn't exactly the height of luxury, but you no longer need to go down to the center of the outpost to grab water rations, and Louis believes that the water treatment plant has enough water to last Station Hill no less than 10 years. Eventually, Louis plans to get proper working toilets and showers in every house. We've only got the homes that are already being lived in hooked up with running water, but Louis and his team have been working with Brown's Builders, our team of carpenters, to hook up every building they're working on with water pipes. They've even been so gracious as to hook up this very station with nice, clean water. You really start to miss things like that when you've been without them for over 200 years. So good. In other news, another merchant caravan is visiting Station Hill, and after some negotiations, Sterling and Burt Dawson, son of caravan leader Dana Dawson, will be staying behind and opening up a general goods store here in Station Hill. This, however, has started up a discussion of taxes. Yeah, that's right. The most boring, yet argument-provoking aspect of building a settlement. That, however, will be discussed at a town meeting planned for next week, and I will unfortunately have to be there. And I'll have to cover it, so I'll have to pay attention. Oh, wait. I can just send Bucket, or Atlas when he gets back. Oh, thank God. I thought I'd have to put in an effort. Anyway, Burt's General Goods will start setting up in one of the eastern buildings, and they should be ready to open up in a few days. They'll be restocked by Miss Dawson's caravan every week or so. They've also paid for an advertisement, which I'll read out in this week's ad read. Our final news story, and maybe more appropriate for announcements. Major Sterling has begun opening enlistment to join the daring Dashwoods. Enlistees will be trained by Lieutenant Pete Kowalski, second in command here at Station Hill. The training sessions will begin this upcoming Wednesday. Anyone who wishes to join will have to pass a few tests, such as a physical fitness test and a mental wellness test, before they begin their training. If you can pass those tests, you'll officially become a private in the daring Dashwood Mercenary Company. This is great in my eyes. We need more hands on deck around here, and we can never have too many people with the know-how to defend themselves and others. Lieutenant Kowalski, Major Sterling's right-hand man, is a pre-war ghoul, much like myself, who not only served in the army, but as a police officer in Chicago before the bombs dropped. Sterling trusts him to train the new Dashwoods, and I trust him too. If you're looking for a new purpose, maybe think about enlisting. We could always use more Dashwoods. Well, that's all for the news today, so let's go on to today's advertisements. Wasteland Active Radio is brought to you by these sponsors. Chrysler Motors. Introducing the 2072 Chrysler Corvega, our most efficient model yet. The 2072 Corvega boasts 100 miles per gallon of coolant, with a core life of over 400 hours. The 2072 Corvega starting at only $1,999,999. Oof. Corvega by Chrysler Motors. Driving paradise. Yeah, we went through some pretty insane inflation near the end there. For the most part, the economy kept up, but things were not looking good when coolant prices were $200 a gallon. Well, Wall Street, how's the economy looking now? Ha-ha! Oh boy. Wasteland Active Radio is also brought to you by Tasty's Potato Chips. Tasty's Potato Chips is the freshest, finest, tastiest potato chip on the market. Coming in a variety of flavors like barbecue, sour cream and onion, banana and hollandaise, cheddar cheese, and many more. There's something for everyone in a bag of Tasty's potato chips. Get yours today. How about no? These chips went stale 2 minutes after you opened them. And can you believe the flavors? Sour cream and onion? What madman thought of that? Ugh. Finally, a very special advertisement for today. Burt managed to stumble his way in here, so I'm going to have him read the ad. Take it away, Burt.
What do I say?
Just tell him what you're going to do.
Yeah. Hi. I'm Burt. I'm gonna open a general store here in Staple Quill.
Station Hill.
Oh, right. Staten Island.
Oh, brother, you have got to be kidding me.
And we'll have all sorts of things like general goods and I don't.
Hey. Here, just read this.
Okay. Hello. I am Burt, and I'm gonna be opening up a general store here in Station Hill. We'll have all kinds of things that you need. Dried food like beans and grains, medicine like stim packs and Med-X, clothing,
bullets.
Bullets, and guns, and much more. Come on down to Burt's General Goods for anything you need. How was that? Did I do good?
Yeah, Burt, you did great. Now, I'm sure you're a busy man with somewhere to be.
No, not really.
Well, I've got to get back to doing this radio show, so...
Oh, that's neat.
Burt, get the fuck out of here.
Sorry. I'm leaving.
Sheesh. Some people can't take a hint. Either way, Burt's General Goods, opening next Thursday or whatever. That's all the ads for today, so let's go to Bucket, our temporary field correspondent, for today's edition of On the Scene. Oof. Good news, dear listeners. I may or may not have found a way to trick Bucket's interview program into thinking it's the full version. Or at least reset the trial. That means I've got Bucket as a field correspondent for at least one more session. With that in mind, let's go over to Bucket. Bucket, activate interview programming.
Activating interview protocol. Greetings. Designation Bucket. Currently here at Station Hill. Paying witness to the Radhopper swarm. Joining me is Lieutenant Pete Kowalski. Hello, Lieutenant Pete Kowalski. How are you on this fine error calendar script not found?
Well, hey there, Mr. Robot Guy. I'm doing just fine. How are you feeling?
This unit is feeling emptiness. Fantastic. What are we gathered for today?
Well, the scouts have seen that there Radhopper swarm coming in from the east for the past couple weeks. Looks like they're going to be arriving here real soon.
Fantastic. What are you going to do upon the arrival of the Radhopper swarm?
Well, we spent the last few weeks preparing for this. We got some flamethrowers built by Private Donnie, or Donnie the Clown as people like to call him. They were made specifically for the Radhoppers, so we can keep them at a distance and get a good spread. We don't need to kill all of them, but we can't just let them get through our crops, you know?
Understood. Food is certainly important to lesser mortal creatures, ephemeral beings, and your services are certainly appreciated.
Yeah, sure there, buddy. Oh, sounds like the hoppers are getting close. Excuse me, I gotta go take care of this. Alright, boys, get them started.
Error. Interview target has withdrawn from interview. Unable to continue. Awaiting assistance.
Oh boy. Bucket, follow Pete.
Acknowledged. Following target. Pete. Preparing for extermination protocols.
What? No. No, Bucket, just follow him.
Following. Ascending stairs. Warning. Projectiles Projectiles approach. Warn. Error. Fall.
Oh, hell. Sorry, dear listeners. It sounds like Bucket got knocked over. I'll go out and pick him up, after the Radhoppers have been dealt with. Till then, I'll give you all the play-by-play from here. Alright, let's see what we have here. Ooh, boy. Yeah, that's a lot of Radhoppers. The Dashwoods are burning them up, and they're falling in smoking clumps. Yep, there's Bucket, on his side. No chance of him getting up on his own. Looks like there are more Radhoppers getting through. Crops look, untouched so far. That's good. It seems like the Dashwoods have this on lockdown. You know, let's see if Bucket's mic is still working.
Yes! Let the cleansing flames wash over the hordes!
Quick, they're getting through!
Focus on the breach. God damn it. We need backup.
They're all over me! Ah!
Oof. Looks like that guy's getting roughed up pretty bad. Let's hope he can... Ugh. Oh, I can't see the guy through all the Radhoppers on him. Let's hope the Dashwoods can help that guy out before he's seriously in Oh my god. Dear listeners, the Radhoppers have moved on from that poor kid and... They picked him clean. There's nothing but a skeleton, sweet Jesus. Oh no. They weren't after our crops. They were after us. Oh, gee. It seems the Dashwoods have realized this as well. It looks like they've called in the guys protecting the fields for backup. The guys in the crops have moved over and are spraying down their hoppers with their flamethrowers. This is looking nasty. Oh, those hoppers are taking chunks out of our boys. Oh, hell. Oh, there are more than we thought there'd be. Don't panic, dear listeners. I'm sure they've got this handled.
We can't take much more of this! We can't handle it! Oh, God!
No, they're fine. They're fine. It definitely is not a bloodbath down there.
It's an absolute bloodbath down here! We need a medic! Ah!
Okay. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic! Yeah? Huh? What's that outside of the walls? Is that gouts of green flame? Wait, that's a plasma thrower. And are those lasers? Listeners, out beyond the walls, the swarm of Radhoppers is being thinned out by an unknown third party. I can see power armor. Yeah, that's a full suit of T-52 power armor. It looks like there are more... No, those are robots. That must mean it's the laser-toting Wanderer. They've come to help us. Yes! Ha ha! Hold on. Behind him. That's Atlas. Boy, does he look rough. Looks like there are a couple of the Dashwoods he took with him, but it looks like... Oh man, this is a lot to process. It looks like the swarm's starting to disperse. Our boys did it. They did it! Ha ha ha! Alright, dear listeners. I'm gonna head on down there and see what I can do to help out. I'll be back soon, I promise. Until then, I'll leave you with, this. And we're back. Sorry about the wait, dear listeners. I'm joined here by field correspondent Atlas, the super mutant. How are you feeling, Atlas?
I feel awful.
We've already hit you with a couple of stim packs. Looks like your body just needs to catch up. Hell, you weren't even able to talk when you first got in here.
My lung was pierced, and my jaw was dislocated. It was a difficult trek in here, even with you helping me. Thank you.
Don't mention it, big guy. So what the hell happened out there?
I left last week to assassinate Macklin. I took several of the Dashwoods with me, as part of a plan to thin out Macklin's forces after I killed him. I walked through his camp and his army. It's so much larger than I estimated it would be. Almost 1,000. When I entered his tent, he let me give my report before he revealed that he saw through my ruse. He tried to kill me. I had to fight my way out. The other Dashwoods, they helped me, but I lost most of them. I failed.
Sure, yeah, you failed to kill Macklin. You brought some guys with you and they died. And your guess of how big Macklin's army would be was significantly off. Yeah, that's a hell of a mistake.
Do you wish to rub my nose in it even more? Or would you like to simply have me beaten more than I already have been?
You messed up, but you made it back to tell us. Which means we aren't just gonna get rolled over by an army of 1,000 super mutants without warning. Yeah, you failed to do what you said you were gonna do, but since you made it back, we've still got a chance.
I feel sick.
Here. An extra shot couldn't hurt, right? How you feeling?
Mildly better. The nausea has almost passed, at least.
Great. By the way, how'd you meet Laser Boy outside?
The man in the armor? We met about an hour's walk from here. He was surprisingly calm when dealing with a heavily injured super mutant who can't talk due to a perforated lung. I need to thank the men who helped me back there. I expected them to shoot me after the plan went awry. But I suppose there is still time for them to load a gun large enough to execute me with.
They're not going to do that. I've known these guys long enough, seen them screw up enough to know that they don't execute people. Even if said people are 8 feet tall, arrogant, ill-tempered, foul-smelling, ugly super mutants with a penchant for referring to humans as meat. You're certainly not in the clear, but you'll be able to make up for it. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Metal Boy, after you met up with him, what happened?
Right. So after one of the Dashwoods explained the situation to the armored man, he agreed to accompany us to Station Hill. When we saw what was happening, he made some quick modifications to one of his guns and cut through the Radhoppers with his robot allies. That's about the extent of my experience with him.
Well, that wasn't all that much info to go on the guy. But I suppose if he sticks around, I could probably get an interview with him.
Yeah, that could probably be arranged. Wait. Were you recording this whole time? Did you turn this into an interview for your radio show? You devious worm!
Hey, now, calm down. The people deserve to hear what happened.
I can't believe you!
Well, I'm probably gonna get the big green cold shoulder now. Oh well, absolutely worth it to humanize the big lug. And I think that interview filled out enough time to call it a show. Well, dear listeners, we've dealt with the Radhoppers. The flesh-eating Radhoppers. Oh, that poor kid. I'll be sure to get his name for our next show so we can give him a proper goodbye. And the super mutants, oh boy. We weren't expecting them to grow their numbers that quickly. Fret not, dear listeners. Major Sterling and our boys from the Daring Dashwoods will, without a doubt, be able to handle this. Though we'll need some backup from HQ. Luckily for us, that laser-toting wanderer in power armor seems to be a pretty stand-up guy. So maybe we'll be able to convince him to give us a hand in dealing with Macklin's army. And if you, dear listeners, want to help defend Station Hill, then come on down and join the Daring Dashwoods. It certainly won't be safe, and it won't be easy. Though nothing is ever easy. We will defend this settlement with our lives. Remember, dear listeners, keep your eyes to the skies when a Brahmin flies, 'cause it's tornado season. This has been Wasteland Active Radio. Crispy, signing off.
Wasteland Active Radio is created, written, and produced by Z. Hagen and Jay Wilson. Brought to you by the record button. Wasteland Active Radio is set in the Fallout video game universe owned by ZeniMax Media and Bethesda Softworks. No copyright infringement is intended. Please support the official release. Thank you. An additional note, the song that you're currently listening to, Lobby Time, is by Kevin MacLeod at incomputech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons. Attribution 3.0.
Alright, let's start shutting things down here. Ah, crap, I forgot about Bucket. I'm gonna need help getting him back on his feet. Maybe I could... Huh? Who's there? Oh, you're the laser guy. Thanks for helping us out there, bud. Why aren't you saying anything? No way. No way.
Hey, Crispy. It's been a while.
Johnny?